Hey class, I just wanted to go over again the apps that I've recommended. So the first one that I recommended was Sketchbook here. That one is available on most platforms, but if it is not available on your platform, then you can use Procreate or Adobe Draw. Procreate, you do need to pay for it, but it is one of the more advanced apps. So if you do plan on continuing learning about digital art or digital illustration, I would highly recommend using Procreate. But if you're just taking this class out of curiosity, I would recommend Sketchbook or Adobe Draw because both of those are free. And if you logged on to Teams or Seesaw, you should have seen that if you did not have access to any of these three apps, that I recommended websites for you to use. So if you have not seen that post yet, I would recommend going back to the announcements on Seesaw and then going to our posts page on Teams for middle school and checking those websites out. They are free, all those that I recommended. So go ahead and check those out, like I said, if your device does not allow these three apps here. So for this week, I wanted to go over the presets in the app. So creating a new file, you would press this plus button, and it's just like that in most of the apps that I recommended. Or there would be something in the corner that would say start new project or open new file. But most of them you can choose the size. So I'm going to choose new sketch. And then it's going to have these presets here. And you always want to choose the highest one. This way we can get the better quality photo. And then you'll click create. All right, so this week I want you again to get used to using all your tools in your toolbar here. And then get used to using the colors and finding out what colors go well together. And then it does give you this little handy tool to kind of compare and contrast. You're going to click here again just to get rid of that. And then I want you to learn again about using layers. So remember when we talked about layers, these keep everything separate. So if you're drawing a person, you can draw circle, or we'll say happy face. You're drawing a circle on one layer, and then I'm going to change the color, and then you're drawing the eyes and the smiley face on the second layer. It looks kind of creepy. But this way everything's on a separate layer. So if you click this little eye right here, that goes away and it stays on one layer just in case I'm like, I don't like it. Let me create another layer. And then we'll make my size of my paintbrush smaller. So remember on this app, the size of your paintbrush can be changed by using this little toggle here, right there. So I'll make that smaller. And then I'll do it again on my new layer. Still kind of scary, but different. And then I can say, I want to see the old one again. And I haven't deleted that old layer yet. So I'm going to click on the eye here. And I'm going to click on the old one. And then I'm like, definitely like the new one. So I'm going to click this one here. Click it again. And then it gives you all these options. And it says layer 3 of 3. So then I'm going to press the delete button. And it gets rid of all of it. So there's my new circle and smiley face. And say, okay, I'm really settled with both of these layers. I think I'm comfortable with having them in one. So you can click again on the layer and it gives you again all these options. So I can either lock both my layers, or if I want them on one layer and I'm comfortable and I don't want to change any of those, I can say merge all. Now there's also another option. I'm going to click the back button here. And it says merge, and then it has the arrow pointing down. So we'll only merge down with one layer that I have here. Like that. So if I had layers up here more, then it would not merge with those. It will only merge with everything that's below it, or the one that's below it. So that's just a little bit more how you use layers. Like I said, this week, I really want you to get comfortable using all the tools. So I'm just going to draw for a little bit. You guys can stick around and watch that. Or you can go ahead and practice on your own while the video is playing in the background. But I'm just going to kind of play with the tools, see what I can do with it. And I want you guys to do the exact same thing. Not the exact same drawing, but just play with the tools and, you know, get a little more familiar with everything. And if you're not using this particular app, that's okay. Just get familiar with the tools on the website that I've provided, and just see what you can create, because starting next week, we're going to start the plan for our final project. So just remember that we are going to create something digitally, and then we are going to turn it into a sticker. So your final drawings, you're going to turn them into me, and I'll show you how to save something in just a second. But you're going to turn that into me, and then I will save it on my computer, and then I will be printing out stickers for you guys. And you'll get those in the mail at the end of the semester. So probably a couple weeks, just depending on how long snail mail takes. So really quick, I'm going to show you how to save a finished drawing. So say this is all done. I'm happy with it. I like it. So particularly for the Sketchbook app, you're going to press these little buttons here. And it's going to say Share, New Sketch, Gallery, and Preferences. You're going to click Share. And then it'll say Save Image, and you're going to press Save Image, and it will save it onto the device that you have. So if you're working on a computer, it'll ask you what folder to save it in. So I would recommend either saving it to your Downloads folder or your desktop, somewhere that's going to be easy for you to find it. And if your parent is working with you, maybe ask them where it would be easiest for you to save it, and where they would want you to save it. Maybe they'll make you a folder on the computer to save your work into. But like I said, if you are working with your parent, go ahead and just double check and ask them before saving it to the computer. So for our final project, I'm going to have you save the image, and then you will send that image to me either on Seesaw for elementary or Teams for middle school. Again, you're going to do Save Image, and then you're going to send that image or upload it via Seesaw for elementary and Teams for middle school. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get drawing. And then, like I said, you guys can watch me draw the whole time and see how I play with the tools, or you can draw on your own while having the video play in the background. And yeah, go ahead, have fun. I really want to see what you guys are going to make this week. Really try to hone your skills this week with all the tools. So try something new that you didn't get to last week. Step out of your comfort zone. Work with the pencil. You can sketch first on your layers. You can use more color. Try to make cleaner lines, or if you want to get more artsy, you can use messier lines. I just really want to see what you guys are going to do. And yeah, I'm excited to see what you guys work with. All right. And if I see anything on here that could be really cool, I will probably stop and then show you guys really quick. But yeah, go ahead, stick around, watch me draw, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Alright, so there's my final drawing. Not the best drawing that I've done, but This is just after a few minutes, so I just wanted to stop and show you guys what a couple minutes of work looks like on here for me. So I just wanted to go over again. You saw how I used all the layers. So everything is like still technically a separate layer. I have my sketch behind it, so I'm going to delete the sketch. So you click delete. That layer is deleted. And then I combined the layer of my bumblebee all together. So the sign reads "Be kind." So it's one of those little pennant flags. I'm not sure if you guys have seen it, but they usually go up on your wall. They usually say something inspirational, or say like a college or a school, usually a mascot on there or something. So now that I'm comfortable with everything, I'm going to merge all of my layers. So I'm going to press the kind button and press merge all. So now everything can move together. So I'm going to press this button here, and then I can move it wherever I want on the canvas. So that's one of the tools that I found on here to use. And I'm going to open another layer just so I can show you how I use the bucket. So there's my paintbrush, and then also another thing I found, if you click on the brush and you click library, it has all these options for brushes and things here. So go ahead, play with that. There's some texture, shape, splatter, some glowing ones, which would be cool. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll click Dream Brush. That sounds fun. So I'm going to click on that one, click away, make sure I have black, and then I'm going to draw with it. It's nice and smooth. And then to use the fill bucket for color, make sure you close your shape, because if you don't, then it's just going to turn the whole background to that color. So click on your bucket, and then it'll ask if you want a solid color, a linear fill, which just means like a gradient, so it's going to start one color and change into another, or have one color and just fade out. And then this one says radial fill, which means that it's starting from the middle like a circle, and then like kind of spreading out one color. So it's fading from like a dark to a light usually. So that, if you have taken art before, we learned about value. So value is the difference between, or the transition from dark to light or light to dark. So in the middle, that would be gray. So first would be black, gray, and then white. So we would see that transition with the color. So I'm going to choose a solid color fill. And then since my circle is black, I think I'll want to fill it with black. So I'll just tap on that, and then it's a full color. But if you want it more solid, you tap it again and it fills it a little bit more. If you had like a brush that was a little more clear around the edges, then it would fill it a bit more. So that's how you use that. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that layer. I'm going to start another layer, and then this is a fun one. So it's a symmetry drawing. So whatever you draw on one side is going to show on the other side. This is how a lot of people, I'm sure you've seen them do a mandala. So that's a repeating pattern all the way around, but this is a little bit of an easier way to do it if you want to check that out. I'll just draw something so you see. I can draw a heart. All I had to do was draw one side and it finished the other side for me. So that's another fun tool. You do have a ruler here. So you just kind of move it around. If I want to use the ruler, press my brush, make a straight line on the ruler. All right, that's one way to use it. And then, like I said, there's just so many different tools in here. If you just click on it, click library, there's all these fun brushes. So I really want you guys to explore this week and show me what you got. So you don't have to create something like I did. I used a little bit of text. So you saw I typed in kind. And then this is to choose from all the fonts that you have on your device already. So you may not have the same fonts that I have, but use whatever font that sticks out to you. This is how you use the color for your font. Choose the color for that. And then this is what I chose, or the tool that I used to make it go along the flag. So it's the Distort one. So you'll kind of pull these little tabs here, to form it the way you want to, and then this just moves it around back and forth like a little remote. This flips it for you. This flips it again, and this is just turning it around. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that layer. And there you have it. So this is what I have so far. So this would be something that I could turn into a sticker. Next week, I will be showing you what we're going to do and how to plan to draw for your sticker. But this week, again, I just want to see you guys exploring a little more deeply with all the tools, especially all the newer ones that I showed you. All the other drawing apps that I showed you should have tools similar to this. So just explore, and you know, I want you to draw again. Maybe this week's assignment, I will change it to being, to draw like an inspiring message. Like I said, be kind. If you have any other inspiring quotes, I want you to play with the text tool. So you can either draw it by hand if you want to draw it with like cool handwriting, or you can use the text tool here to draw it, and then you can change the color. You can add some more layers to it. Like, let me show you an example. So I'm going to draw, or I'm going to write be kind in the text tool. I'm going to change that color, or I'll leave that font. I'll change it. I'll leave this one yellow. I'll click done. I'm going to want to move. Oops. Let's go back one more time. Oh, I did use the new layer. Okay. So I had to double check that I used the right layer. See, layers are important. All right. So I have be kind here. And then I'm going to duplicate this. And so that means there's two of them. So I'm going to change the color. Let's see. What color do I want it? Let's see. Oops. And here I am just drawing all over it. So you would choose color balance. Maybe I'll make it a nice color to kind of layer with. It's fun. There we go. So this is, I just used color balance, so I'm going to show you that again. I clicked it, clicked on color balance, and that's where it took me. So let's go back, and I'm going to click here, and then we're going to move this layer, and then I'm going to lay it right on top, and we're just going to align it so it looks like the yellow is the shadow. And then I'm going to click that and then merge down. So it only merges with the layer right below it. So it doesn't merge with our flag that I did here. So I'm going to click that. And then see, I can move this around. I'm going to hide the flag really quick so I can show you a little bit more with this. So I can even make a fun pattern with this. So I'm going to click that, click duplicate. So I'm just going to keep duplicating that. So then I'm going to merge down. So I have two of them now. Duplicate. And then we're going to pull this one back down here. See, and now we have a pattern that says something nice. Be kind. So I want you guys, like I said, to explore everything. I showed you a couple techniques. And you can either do an illustration of like a person, or you can use text like I did. You can handwrite your text. I just want to see what you guys can do and really, really explore all the tools. I showed you some shortcuts. I showed you some fun stuff. All right, have fun, guys, and I can't wait to see what you guys are going to do. Bye.